Hi, this is Sung and I'm the Principal and Director of Sky Academy, and in this episode what we're going to be looking at is the concept of bearing. Okay, bearing meaning direction. Okay, so in other words, if you are going on a bushwalk and you needed to get from point A to point B, one of the first things that you'd have to work out is the direction that you need to go, right? And that direction is measured as an angle, okay, or a bearing, okay? And the way we reference that bearing, right, is either as a compass bearing or as a true bearing, okay? A compass or bearing or a true bearing, okay? And in maths, they're the two types of bearing that you might be that you might need to be aware of. All right, let me go through a true bearing, okay? So a true bearing is a 3-digit angle or a 3-digit bearing that is measured from true north and goes in a clockwise direction, okay, to the direction that you want to go, to the bearing, all right? And I've got an example here, 137 degrees true, right? 137 degrees true would be a bearing that starts at north. Let me just... That's measured from where you currently are and goes 137 degrees in the direction of your bearing, okay? So that might be your bearing here, okay? 137 degrees. That would be your true bearing of 137 degrees. It starts at north, goes in a clockwise direction until you reach the direction that you want to be facing. That is what we call a true bearing. And it's written like this, 137 degrees true. There's always 3 numbers, even if the first 2 numbers have to be 0 or the first number has to be 0, it's written with 3 numbers, okay? So that's true bearing. Compass bearing starts at either north or south, whichever's closer, and goes either in an easterly or a westerly direction, whichever is closer, towards the point of the bearing. Okay? So see how this is 137 degrees, right? How many degrees would this be? Well, that would be 180 minus 137, which is 43 degrees. So this bearing, not only is it called 137 degrees true, you could also call it south. See how you're starting in the south, going 43 degrees in a easterly direction. Okay, so you could also call it south 43 degrees east. So it could be described as north 137 true or south 43 degrees east. Now this one here, we've got an example, north 35 degrees west. So that starts at north and goes 35 degrees west. I'll do this one with a red pen this time. So it starts at north and goes 35 degrees in a westerly direction. Westerly is this way, anti-clockwise. So it goes 35 degrees this way. So this is north 35 degrees west. Now, what else could that be? Alright, in terms of a true bearing, it would be 90, 180, 270, 270 plus this angle here. What's that angle there? Well, it's got to add up to 90, right? So 35 minus 90 would be 55 degrees. So it would be 270, which is 3 lots of 90, plus the 55, which would be 325 degrees true. Okay. Now, you're going to be getting bearing type questions. All right. A lot of you would probably had practice doing bearing type questions in your junior mathematics, but you will be getting bearing type questions as well. You've got to be able to move between compass bearing and true bearing. That'll be asked a lot. well, not a lot, but it might be asked you, so you need to be prepared for it, and you need to be able to answer bearing type questions, okay? And I'll give you an example of a bearing type question in the next chapter, and I'll give you a way to approach them. But this is basically what you need to know, okay? In terms of bearing, and then the rest of it is applying trigonometry to bearing type questions. Alright, I'll do an example like I said on the next episode, but thank you so much for watching. Go away and maybe practice some of this stuff because it will be helpful for you. Alright, thank you.